These are job posts looking to hire closers. Most of these posts are by first, maybe second time founders. And honestly, as I read some of these job offers, I thought I would ban these founders from my group. But let's talk about why even bad offers are still good. And more importantly, how you can find an incredibly good offer to close for in less than 30 days. Stick around to the end of this video and I'll reveal a strategy you can use to get higher commissions or even command a base pay for your experience as a sales professional. This can also work if you're a setter. Now, the first thing you should look for if you're going out to the job market is going to be trends. Go through TikTok, Instagram, social media. What influencers seem to be on the rise who have a lot of content? Now be sure to actually look at the view count and engagement, not just someone's follow count, because a lot of people buy followers nowadays. But the point being is that offers or places that are trending or in interests that are trending, businesses placed there have an easier time growing. Trends make bad businesses lots of money simply because there's just demand from customers. I had a friend personally who started a crypto trading business right before the bull run a couple years back. Now, he wasn't particularly special as an entrepreneur. He was a pretty normal guy. He did a little bit of trading in his Robinhood account, started making a little bit of content, and in 6 months' time, he was able to grow to $1 million a month. Now, mind you, he was a hardworking person, got some mentorship and advice, but the point being is a fairly average person in a 6-month window amassed $1 million a month in business gross just by getting in early on a trend. And this is how it can actually work out for you. There's many places that you should start when it comes to looking for trending offers, one of which is going to be new business models. If you go on TikTok or different ways, or just kind of money feeds, money Twitter, money TikTok, money Instagram, you'll see that there's some people who are starting side hustles. There was a kid that I saw that had a Christmas light making business. You put Christmas lights on houses. He sold a program teaching how to do that, and other types of side hustles, even RV flipping. But the point being is like new and innovative ways of making money are very interesting and very entertaining. Another really good example is going to be career development opportunities, which have been on the rise, helping people get certifications, helping people start their career online. A prime example is an entrepreneur called Baxter C. Cluis. He runs a program that shows people how to go out and get their certifications in IT and start doing compliance for companies, making anywhere between $80,000 to $200,000 a year with a career in tech. Now, the beauty about an offer like his or getting in early on trends is that trends have desire. Trends are fairly easy to sell because we as humans aren't very rational beings, we're irrational. And so when a trend or something happens, people love to be in on something early. Why do you love when your favorite artist releases new music, or someone drops new clothes, or someone produces more content? You like being a part of that new thing, that cutting edge. And so that's where actually selling on offers that are trending, you get fairly less objections or fewer objections because there's such an emotional pull and emotional desire for someone to want to get in on whatever it is that you're selling. Now, you might think that selling something trendy or new is going to be hard, but let me tell you, there's no shame in selling anything new. There are a lot of people who are skeptic, but the point being is, on average, humans like to be part of new things. And though you shouldn't be that skeptic, but you should be able to get in early on that skepticism, because those first movers are the easiest sales that you will ever see. Now, the hardest part about actually finding a good or trending offer is finding it, because it's a trend. Part of the beauty of trends is that there's a lot of people who don't know, and the value is in being in that in crowd before everybody does. So if you happen to be outside of the circle, there's something right next to trends that is more commonly known that is just as good. And that is actually a new or emerging business. The reason being is that emerging businesses are fairly easy in their business development or fairly early in their growth. To become a successful entrepreneur, to go from your first $10,000 to $30,000 or $100,000 a month, you pretty much have to do the same behaviors and sit around for a certain period of time. But here lies an opportunity for you, because you might think that early stage businesses, those businesses maybe between $10,000 and $15,000 a month, if you're fairly experienced, you might not think it's a good deal. You know, you might want to work for a larger or bigger company. But what is it that actually makes a larger or bigger company one worth working for? If you really think about it, it has very little to do with the business itself, but more to do with how you are working with the business or the arrangement you have put together. But more importantly, do I feel like the work that I'm doing is fair to the compensation that I'm going to get? I assure you, or at least for myself, if I go to a business, I don't necessarily care if they're a huge business or a small business, so well as I feel fairly compensated for my time, or I have enough control to be able to hit those targets and get compensated the way that I would like to. Because believe me, there comes a certain point where you have enough experience. Myself now, I can sit in an interview and I know 5 minutes if this is a company that I want to work for, just based on the questions that the person asks, how they show up to the Zoom call, or heck, even the stuff they send me beforehand. Are they on time? Do they follow through in their promises? Do they give responses when they're going to? Do they even show up to their meetings on time? All that stuff is really small, but people with experience, including myself, can see right through it. But the point being, I now look at that and I see opportunity. And I want to tell you the brief story of how I actually became aware of this. See, there was a brief period in time, actually the last formal offer that I worked for was a very awkward situation for myself, because I was hired to be a closer for them. But it was so weird because during so many of the management meetings or just executive meetings or the meetings with the people that are supposed to be my higher ups, I just found myself telling them what to do more often than not. They were looking to me for advice and input. See, I used to believe that like when I was working for a business, that the business owner should lead and really know all and maybe consult me a little bit on what I would need to be better at my job. But I found myself having to explain the work that my boss should be doing or the jobs that other people should have. And so I decided to cut ties with the business and go the other way. And it was sort of during this period of my career that I actually was speaking to one of my friends about the situation. And he gave me advice that was so simple that it actually hurt. And that was, when people ask you for advice, they most likely are looking to buy something, so sell something. And as simple as that was, it didn't make a lot of sense at first, but when I really thought about it, could I have sold them something? Could I have sold them my information? Besides, when I think about what we were selling as a company was as information education, what is it? It's just buying somebody else's advice. And so I had a prime opportunity in front of me, but I wasn't able to make sense of it at the time. But I'd already cut ties and I'd gone on my way. But that was when I'd received a phone call from another colleague of mine about a business who was an agency that he had interviewed for but had turned down because the offer wasn't mature enough. There wasn't enough leads, there wasn't any management, there wasn't enough earnings and opportunity. But he believed that through my experience, because I'd worked with a couple big companies, that maybe I would have some value to offer to this person. Maybe I was a bit more qualified to be able to work with him. Now, once more, I had no experience in this. I wasn't really new to it, nor did I think I could really help this person. I'm just a salesperson. Let me sell, I'll sell, and I might do things outside of sales that help me get more deals. I didn't realize that there was value to be had in that stuff. In hindsight, it's so clear. But that introduction that my friend made was to a business owner named Ben, and that's really where everything had changed for me. You see, I had spoken with Ben and I learned a little bit more about his situation, and I positioned myself where I created an offer saying, hey, I don't want to sell for your business because it's not big enough and I don't think I'd make enough money here. But if you were to pay me a fee, I will help you fix all the things that will get your business to grow with what you're currently doing. Maybe find somebody else and get them to sell it, so long as I'm getting paid my fee for my time. And just like that, I'd broken like a great filter. A great filter, for those of you who don't know, is like unspoken or invisible wall that comes between growth. And it was in that moment that I really broke my limiting beliefs. And I didn't have a structure or a game plan, mind you. I just kind of explained what I was capable of doing or what I could help with. And in 60 days, I was able to take his business from $10,000 a month in new cash to $140,000 a month in new cash. And this wasn't with some meticulous roadmap. I wasn't some professional consultant. I didn't have a ton of experience in this. I just was doing what I knew as a salesperson. What would I want inside of a business? And I fixed all the things that I feel like I would have liked fixed. I helped him find somebody to come in and work for the business because it was so much better after we just reset the stage. Somebody else came in and collected all the cash. I got paid for my time. He got profit in his business. All of us got what we wanted. And I'd figured out a way to make a full-time income working part-time. I set this deal up so that I was only working 3 days a week for that. But anyhow, that's aside from the point. I figured out a way to make a full-time income with only part-time work. And it was actually really fun. I had a lot more fun working and fixing things than I did closing deals. I had a lot more fun sort of showing a closer what I would do to close deals and seeing his results than meaning to spend my time chasing deals and follow-ups. But the best part is that I wasn't getting paid off of my sales calls. I was getting paid off of my time, my expertise, just by helping fix the business and make it a better place. And it became an incredible place. But I say this to say that if you're going into the job market today, you don't need to look for a great offer. And that same process of positioning myself to a business and making an ask and getting paid a retainer, I taught it to a friend of mine, Ethan, and he was able to go out there and close somebody for $3,000 a month as a setter manager, helping them build and rearrange their set team. Now, did he have a full, clean, and concise process? I would say yes, because I was able to explain to him some things that I would have done a bit differently or ways in which I could close these deals a little bit better. But the point being, he'd only had a year and a half of sales between being a setter and a closer for probably around 4 months, and was able to go out there and make $3,000 a month, semi-part-time, without even needing to take any set calls, just by helping assemble and develop a set team. Another person I taught this to, Jack, was able to go out there and make $7,000 a month recurring, helping a large influencer create, structure, and launch an offer. Jack had some experience in working offers from the ground up, giving him a little bit of input and advice on how it is he could just position himself to not need to be the closer in early on an offer, but charge to be able to help that offer do something he'd already helped done before. And now he's making $7,000 a month. Now, he does sell for the offer a little bit, but that's because he loves it and he has the choice to. And I say this to say that going out to the job market today and looking for good offers is something that puts a really big limit on you and your potential, because the good offers are really competitive. Everybody wants a good offer. So I encourage those of you who have experience to not just look at, is this business qualified for me, but but can I make this business more qualified for others? Can I come in and fix this business using my experience? Can I make this place a more attractive place to work that even I would want to work for? And if you put yourself in that position where, hey, I actually want to help you grow as a business, I have more value to provide, you'd be shocked at the response that business owners give you. Because to take a business from 10,000 to 50,000 a month, if you're a high performing closer, your minimum you're trying to do is 50 to 100,000. So if you could take a business to just your bare standards of what you're capable of doing, you sometimes 5x or even 2x the company as a whole. Now, if you can create other people or create an environment from which that's sustainable, that's where your value comes in. So if you're curious to learn how I actually took Ben from $10,000 to $140,000 a month in new cash, click the link right here, and there's a video where I sit down with him and we talk about the entire experience, start to finish, and I hope that you're able to learn something, or better yet, maybe go out and begin approaching business owners yourself. And if you found this content interesting and would like to see more, click the link down below and subscribe to my channel, and you'll get updated with more content from me. And drop a like so that way this video gets sent to other closers like yourself who are figuring out the best offer to sell for in 2024. Because it's not about the offers, it's about what you make of it. And if you have experience, it's time for you to ask more. Push your comfort zone, ask more, and get more. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.